Is that what he's saying? Is you speak Icelandic, or is it a different word?
But we'll go with that.
Like if you're from Finland, you speak Finnish.
Sure. Then Icelandish.
You speak icicle.
Well, it's a remake of an Icelandic movie that came out last year, and I'd read about it. It had won a few festivals, notably the Torino Film Festival in Italy, which is a festival that I was a fan of and have been to a few times. And so I'd heard of the movie, and then when I was looking to do something that was like an intimate two-person character piece set in, a burnt-down state park, I was talking to a buddy of mine who's an art director in New York, and he said, "Well, you got to check out Either Way." And I said, "Oh yeah, I do have to check out Either Way." And then he said, "You should just remake that movie." And I was like, "Okay, I'll just get a copy of it and then I'll go remake it." So that's kind of what I did.
I've known David for many years and have been a friend of his, and I've always admired him as a filmmaker and wanted to work with him. So it was great to finally do it, and I hope it's the first time of many times, because I think he's just a great filmmaker. Emile I'd never met, and it was terrific. That we have this dynamic that in the film, our characters, which is a bit of an older brother, younger brother thing. And it felt like that when we weren't shooting, too.
I think, Lance is he's kind of like a dopey, insecure kind of guy who's a little bit, he's kind of been partying for most of his 20s, and he hasn't really taken the time to develop himself as an adult. And this is kind of the crossroads in the movie where we find him. He's realizing that, a lot of the ways of living aren't working out for him, right now, and he kind of has to shift his paradigm a little bit and grow up. And Alvin, who Paul Rudd plays, is kind of a very adult, stern guy who has his own flaws, but I think he kind of helps illuminate to Lance some of the problems that Lance has. They kind of change each other. We're kind of the odd couple.
Well, working with Paul and Emile is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Me and Emile almost made a movie together a few years ago, so I'd had it in mind, and me and Paul have known each other for 10 years, so we've been always talking about this or that and trying to figure out when and where. And this seemed like a good fit. They kind of fit the structure and the character dynamic that we wanted to. I wanted to find characters that felt kind of familiar and relatable, but also we could take them outside their wheelhouse and push them in a direction that audiences wouldn't necessarily expect. So I think you'll see a few surprises with the movie and where they go. And the character dynamic was really fun off camera as well as it was on. And it's just, it was 16 days we shot the movie and just had a blast.
Cousin Pete, Uncle Al, and Jack heatedly discuss Superman's new beard and who else could have donned the cape. The Oscars may be Hollywood's biggest party, but every year someone gets left out. Gray Drake gives you 10 films that deserved better. Fandango's Dave Karger drops by as Ben makes his Oscar predictions and dishes on Jay-Z's composing for The Great Gatsby. Amy Nicholson and Jeremy Smith join Devin to round up who was a badass and who was just an ass in 2012. Get your film fix. Subscribe to Cinefix.